Welcome to the pit. Welcome to the Pitmaster Podcast. We're barbecue competition competitors that aim to share information, advice, tips, and tall tales about our favorite pastime. Head over to the pitmasterpodcast.com for all things Pitmasters, or follow us on your favorite social media platform. And now, here are the hosts of the Pitmaster Podcast, the two-time grand champion, SCA World Champion finalist, and barbecue specialist of Smoke Ain't No Joke Barbecue, the Anthony Luan, and the 24-time grand and reserve grand champion, reserve world grand champion, Windover High Roller champion, and the founder of Pitmaster Barbecue Supply Company stores in Utah, the old man himself from Big Johnson's Barbecue, Jesse Johnson.
This is Greg Rempe from the Barbecue Central Show, and you are listening to the Pitmasters Podcast, and they are doing it live.
We'll do it live.
That's right, Bill. I just said that. They're going to do it live.
We'll do it live.
Yes, live. They're going to do it live.
What's up, Jesse? How's it going, my man?
What's up, my brother from another mother?
Not much. I almost messed up that intro, man. I accidentally bumped the mouse.
Yeah. You can't be clicking when you're scrolling there, buddy.
Right? It's crazy, man. But yeah, so we have you back. You went and did a little gig in Southern Utah.
Yep.
But yeah, man, it's cool to have you back.
Sorry I missed that one. That would have been an interesting one to be. That was a really good podcast. So you guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Really high level stuff when it comes to that forum or that magazine that affects the bottom line of all those stores, all those restaurants, all those pitmasters when they get put on that list. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's Texas Monthly. They release a list of top 50 barbecue joints in Texas every 2 years. Every 2 years?
2 years, I believe.
Yeah. So that is an honor to be even listed in those top 50. And
heck yeah.
But yeah, man. So we're kind of in a dry month here in Utah. There's not much going on here in January, February in Utah, but we are kicking off.
Dry because there's no snow.
Yeah, right. So we'll be kicking off the KCBS. I guess you'll be kicking off a KCBS competition the first week of May. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, May 1st and 2nd, we've got it at Blue Compass RV. We have 39 powered spots for teams. We're already at 12 teams. We'll be a qualifier without a doubt. We've already got teams from 4 different states already, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be cool. And then we're going to do a hot dog challenge on Friday night, and then a bunch of the teams are going to be vending. We're going to do a round table with a bunch of local teams to figure out how we want to do that, and we'll get that all set in place for all the teams so they can make a little extra money while they're at the comp.
Okay, do you got me on that list?
I do.
Cool. All right.
Yep. You're one of the 12s. Smoke Ain't No Joke by himself.
Yep. Then
I heard there's a free agent out there that's doing really well. His name's Brennan.
Yeah, we might draft that guy. I might have to draft that guy.
Yeah, just throw down some cash and go, all right, sign the contract. Get it.
Yeah.
Get it. He says he's a steak cook, but he's doing way better than the KCBS.
Right. That's crazy. Yep. But tonight's guest, we have Big John and Kim from Big John's Barbecue. They went down to Vegas. If I remember correctly, they're from that area. I'll clarify with that. But they went down to Vegas and won it, man. They won a huge competition. So Chrissy Vanover
be like being in the same competition, like with Big Papa Smokers and now Big John's. I'll be standing up when they call, and it's like, oh, it ain't me.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of like way Chris has actually changed their names from Smoke and Sin Bin because everybody's Smoke Ain't No Joke. Smoke this, smoke that. That's because they got jumpy, and I get it. I get it a lot too, but oh well.
You get excited, man.
I rarely get my name called anyway, so it's fine.
Exactly.
Well, let's go talk to them and see how they were able to lock that down, man. That is a big competition that sells out quickly every year, and being able to just hear your name called at that event is huge.
Yeah, Christy does a great job with her comps. I still don't know. I mean, it's like Vegas. Like we're doing a demolition derby in Vegas. We're doing 4 days, and it sold out in 2 hours. They
Wow.
had 1,200 demolition derby teams sign up.
Jeez.
They only could take 120.
Wow. How do you decipher that? Just flip a coin, put a name in a hat, and draw it out, or what?
They had to do it. They wanted, because it's going to be a huge pay-per-view. So they went through each state and made sure each state was represented. And I hope the Barbecue World Cup does that as well. But each state has a representative, and then they called all the promoters in all those states. Okay, who is your top drivers? Who has the the biggest followings and whatnot? So they put together all the biggest teams from all across the United States. It's going to be interesting.
That is awesome. Well, cool. Let's go talk to our guest, man.
Let's do it.
This is the single best investment you can make to become a better cook.
Thermopen 1 is the best thermometer I've ever had.
My thermometer of choice is ThermoWorks.
When it comes to quality that I can trust, this is the company that I go to over and over again.
There may be other thermometers out there, but there aren't other Thermopens.
Welcome to the show, Big John and Kim. How are you tonight?
We're doing great. Thanks for having us.
Good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I guess I failed on my research. Where are you guys from exactly?
We live in Henderson, Nevada, so it's basically Las Vegas. Yep.
So you guys won a local comp.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's just a small little local comp we won.
That little guy that we went to. There was only 91 teams. No big
Right?
deal.
That is so crazy. So let's hit the rewind button before we get to that event. Let's start where you guys started your barbecue career. What got you going? What triggered this spiral of the barbecue world for you?
Yeah, so you probably noticed in our bio, we talked about it a little bit, but in about 2008, we moved to Kansas City. Kim's actually from Kansas City. And while we were there, Kim was working for the ad agency that represented the American Royal BBQ. And so we went out she invited me out to the barbecue, and I got to try, all the barbecue from some of the most famous pitmasters at the time, all the guys that were on TLC's Barbecue Pitmasters. That was the same year they filmed it. And man, I tried all their food and I was hooked, and I knew I had to go home and try and figure it out. So I went home, bought a barbecue, and started, developing recipes and things like that. So way back in 2009 was kind of the origins. And then we really didn't start competing until 2015 was our first comp. And I think in 2018 was our first 4-meat competition. And then I like to kind of call us, we're kind of well-practiced rookies. We did like one comp a year all the way until 2023. And then we started doing a few more then. So really most of our competition experience was not until about 2023.
Got it. So
little did I know.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, little did I know, jumping into that American Royal experience, that we were going to the one of the biggest events in the world as far as barbecue goes. Right. And then we got the prime tour because we were on the press tour. I was leading the press tours, so I was in charge of getting all the magazines and the TV crews out to the right places, and I had him come along as extra support. And I think that's really was the hook, line, and sinker in there.
Yep.
That is awesome. So what was that first smoker that you went and purchased?
It was an offset from like Kmart. I think I spent $75 on it. And then
Charbroil.
I'm an engineer, so I spent a lot of time reading.
Charbroil. We all did the same thing.
Yep. So
yeah. And what do you
years and then built my own after that.
What are you guys cooking on now?
So right now we're cooking on drums. We just started cooking on drums.
Which ones are you using?
We're using gateways. Yeah. Well,
nice.
2 gateways, and then I built 2 of them myself.
Gotcha.
I just kind of mirrored or copied the gateways, made similar ones. But yeah, we started cooking on drums about 2 contests ago, more or less. Before that, we cooked on offsets. I spent a lot of time building and developing offset smokers, and then I found a good deal on a Jambo clone, and I had a Jambo style pit that I cooked on for a few years. And we switched mostly because I like the turn and burn aspect of the drums. You stay more engaged. You're constantly checking things, and you really know exactly what's going on with each meat as you're cooking. And I really like that, and it keeps me focused while I'm cooking.
Yeah. those. It seems like everybody who's winning is cooking on drums. Really,
Well,
really does.
you've had a transition where, back in the day, everybody's on offsets or drums, and then everybody switched to pellet smokers, and then back to offsets, and now almost every competition team is running some type of drum. So,
Right.
I've teased them that our grill estate has changed drastically, and we've had a little bit of everything along the way.
Yeah, over the last 10, 15 years, I've had every type of cooker that there is, and I've built most of those types. I've built gravity feeds, I've built drums, I've built offsets, and tried them all. And I think each one has their strengths. And I do use a pellet grill now too, mostly as a warmer. But yeah, I mean, I think all of them are great cookers, and they all have their strengths and weaknesses. But right now, we're mostly doing drums, and then I do have a pellet grill. So,
all right. So then we fast forward all the way to November 2025, 91 teams. What was going through your mind when you rolled in there, seeing all these teams and all these smokers and all these celebrities that you've watched YouTube videos and learned some techniques from? What was going through your mind at that point?
Yeah, man. So 2025 was a tough year for us. We didn't do a lot of competitions. We had a lot of things going on at home that took our focus away from competition barbecue. And so it was really my first time back in 10 months. And I was just looking forward to enjoying the weekend. I really was not stressed. I was excited to meet some folks, and being local, it wasn't a lot of effort for us. So it was like, let's just go have a good time. And I literally took it as like, hey, I got some good recipes. I'm not going to embarrass myself. I think we're just going to have a good time and go cook it. And so it was no stress. It was a great time. And honestly, I think that's probably what contributed a lot to us doing well, is we didn't have a lot of that, like the jitters or, on the cutting board trying to figure out what to put in the box and all that. It really was just a easy, stress-free weekend for us.
We hosted dinner the night before for a lot of the competitors.
Yeah, it was the first time we ever did that. We made baked potatoes we made like 300 baked potatoes to see if anybody would come by. And we had quite a few folks come by and eat dinner with us. And that was cool. We got to meet people that we never would have met otherwise. Come by for dinner.
Brandon kind of threw it out there. Did you guys have a competitive advantage by being able to sleep in your own beds? You guys went and got set up and then went home and got some rest, or what was that all about?
No, I actually, I brought my trailer out, and, we did sleep in my bed, sort of. I mean, there's a bed in the trailer, so.
Got it.
I went home.
Yeah.
Smart wife.
Yep.
So what was processing through your brain that you're like, oh man, we've got some walks. Now I think I have a shot of we might win this whole thing. What was triggering in your brain with that big of a competition, and you're realizing like, oh man.
Yeah. So like most cooks, you kind of tabulate as you're going through the awards. You're kind of thinking, well, so-and-so got this call and I got this call, but they got that call. And, I was really mostly worried because I knew the chicken that I had made was good, but I had a little hiccup right before dunking. I added some seasoning to the sauce and it was a little bit over seasoned. And so I was thinking, man, I bet that chicken really trumps everything. Because we've had other cooks where we've done really, really well and then had one category sink our battleship.
Just kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, we went through chicken, we didn't get a call. So even going through awards, we didn't know exactly where we landed in chicken. And so everyone around us is kind of, tapping us on the shoulder. I think Dave Mara at Meat Candy Q, he was kind of shaking my shoulder a little bit. And, I was just sitting there thinking, we've done well before. Maybe that chicken's going to not do it for us this time. And so all the way up until Chrissy started talking about or describing our team, I still wasn't sure that we had won. And so I think, Kim had mentioned she was thinking, hopefully we do win, because otherwise the letdown is going to be huge.
So what were your calls? What was your placing in all your meats?
Yeah, so we ended up 19th in chicken with a 175 and some change. So pretty tight chicken scores. If you get a plus
great score
and you're not in the top 10, that's pretty good chicken scores.
Right.
I think we had somewhere around a 176 in ribs, which was good enough for sixth place. We had a 12th place pork call, which they called down to 15 in that contest. So I consider it a call. And I think that was a 176 also. And then we got a 4th place brisket, which was a 178, I think, somewhere around there.
Right in
You're
there.
1 taste point off of a 180 on the brisket.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, it just shows you consistency really can help you win contests. We didn't win any category, and we didn't get a call in every category either. And so, just
did you win all your table? Did you win all your tables?
I don't think I won the pork table, but I did win the other 3.
Yeah, the biggest thing is winning your tables, and everything else is going to come out in the wash. You know.
Yeah. Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, that big of a contest, you never know how it's going to shake out.
Exactly.
91 teams and all that. It was crazy. So
We went home, like we took a trailer home in between turn-ins and awards, and I dropped our kids off. I was late to awards. At one point, I wasn't even going to come to the awards because I was taking kids places, but.
Yeah, Christy had made mention. So Kim cooked dessert for the first time. That she'd never cooked dessert before that contest, and she ended up getting a call. And so when I went up to go get her award, Christy had mentioned, hey, where's Kim at? And I thought it was kind of odd, like she was making a very big deal,
of Kim not being there. Yeah.
7th or 8th place. I don't know.
It was like it was a 9th place dessert call, and she's like, "Well, Kim's not here to get her award." I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. I didn't really understand why. But now looking back on it, I'm like, man, she was really trying to get Kim to show up.
Right. So is this your first major to possibly get a world championship? Is this your first one to qualify for like a bung draw for the Jack?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So it was actually our first GC. We've been competing for a long time, but like I said, we didn't really compete very often.
Right.
We've done well. We've been in the top 5 very consistently, but
yeah, I mean, so we've only done 16 total KCBS comps over the last 10 years. Of those 16, we've been in the top 10 of 11 of them. We've been 4th in 4 of those contests. So we've been real close to a GC a lot. This was the first time we actually got a GC that was a qualifier. And that was really my whole goal in 2023 when I started competing more. Is I went to the American Royal with my friend Steve-O's Barbecue.
And Steve-O's stud.
Yeah, he's stud. And so I went with him, helped him cook, and I really, really enjoyed it. But I've always wanted to cook it under my own team name. And so this is the first year. And it was a goal of mine to do it. And, we're excited to go try and cook against that caliber teams.
Yeah, last time I was there, we were 635 teams.
Wow. That's a lot of teams.
Huge.
That's a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So this is Nevada gives you have 2 chances. So you're a 50-50 draw on being able to make it to the Jack, right?
Right, 50-50. And so I'm going to go cook Boulder City because that's the other qualifier. Hopefully I lock that one up and then there's no question.
Right.
That'd be awesome.
that would be awesome. Yeah. So that's awesome. So what meat do you think really, when you put it in the box, you're like, yeah, this one's solid. This one we are walking in today. What was your one that you felt really confident in?
So almost always it's brisket. I've been cooking brisket for a really long time. I've probably cooked well over 500 briskets at this point. And so I know when the brisket's going to be good, and it's been fairly consistent for me. I've been in the top 4 for the last 5 contests in a row.
Nice.
In brisket, except for Slaborama, I think I was 7th in brisket. But my scores have been above a 175 in brisket, for quite some time. And so I usually am pretty confident, unless I screw it up, I'm pretty confident brisket is going to do well for me. And that's one that a lot of teams struggle with. So I like to think that's kind of like my hammer that kind of pushes me over the edge a lot of times to get me into that top 5 or top 10 is getting a higher score in brisket helps a lot.
What briskets are you cooking?
Right now I'm cooking Snake River Farm Golds. That's what I try to source if I can. But honestly, I've gotten some Snake Rivers that, they were good. They were marble, but maybe they didn't have the right shape, or maybe there was something off about them. Maybe there was I've never had a gash in one, but for whatever reason, it's not going to work out. So I've actually gone and sourced some well marbled primes, and I've cooked with those, and we've done well with well marbled prime too. So I'm not afraid to cook a well marbled prime brisket. I think that they can do well if they're cooked right. There is a little bit of difference in cooking them, but
Yeah.
Mostly just try not to blow them up because they tend to be a little more tender towards the higher end of that temperature scale.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and new teams are scared about Wagyus because they don't realize that. I mean, I've had to take a Wagyu to 213 degrees until it felt right.
Right.
And I was scared to death.
Yeah.
That was the highest temp I'd ever taken a brisket to, and end up winning a brisket.
Yeah, and that's the thing is knowing more or less, like the biggest thing with those Wagyu briskets is looking up boiling point of water for the elevation that you're going to be cooking at. And then once you know that, I usually try and leave it in the wrap until I'm within a degree of that boiling point. And once I get to there, then I start checking the probe. Because if you open it up a bunch of times, it's going to dry out. It'll get dry on you. And so I usually just leave that thing closed. And it is nerve-wracking. You got this big
so bad,
and you set it in there, and you're like, you're not sure if it's going to be mush or not. But we've done it enough times now that we know that within a degree or so of that boiling point is when we can start checking it, and it should be all right.
So this is where we ask, what do you put on your brisket? If you want to let us know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid to say. I mean, I usually start with a good salt, pepper, garlic. I like to use Rio Valley Meats Blanco. That's what I start with. And then I've been using Clark Crew Barbecue, his brisket, rub. I mean, he's 9-time brisket champion. I don't know how many times, but he can't be wrong.
Travis is one of the best cooks in the last decade. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I use some of his, and then typically I finished off with a little cow cover hot. So, I have mixed in a little bit now and then some Big Papa Smokers Cash Cow. Depends on how I'm feeling for the day, but I'll mix some of that in too.
That's good stuff. It has that acidic to it. I like it.
Yeah. It's got a real beefy taste to it too. It kind of makes a real nice savory where, I'm looking for that savory from the cow cover and from the Cash Cow, and that salt, pepper, garlic is just the solid base.
Yeah.
So were there any mistakes during the jackpot that you had to recover from?
Yeah, so we forgot the ribs on the cooker when we were getting chicken going, and we forgot them and left them a little bit long, and I think that probably helped us, to be honest. But yeah, normally we would try and pull them, and we forgot and left them on about half hour longer than we would have liked to. And again, I over seasoned the sauce. I tasted it. I thought, it needs a little bit of seasoning. I thought, and then I added it, and it was way too much. And so. The sauce on the chicken, I think probably was the reason why we ended up 19th, because it was delicious. It was cooked well. And, the sauce, I think, kind of threw us a little bit on that one. So we've been working on that. We did better at Slaborama in chicken. And so this weekend, we got Riverside, the Golden State Battle. So we're going to try a new chicken sauce recipe this weekend and see how that hits. But yeah, there were some things that we learned from in the jackpot. Looking back at scores, it looked like they liked the tenderness of all of our meats, and they liked the presentation and appearance. But there were some taste things that we needed to adjust, and so we're trying a few new things. We've done a few practice cooks in between, trying out some new flavor profiles, mostly in sauce, I think. But
is Kim building your boxes?
She helps a lot. She gives me it should go there. It looks better if you do this, for the most part.
He builds a lot of them, but
yeah,
kind of there. I'm a better judge than I'm a builder of boxes.
Yeah, so Kim,
the official taster.
Yes.
Pretty much all of my recipes that I'm currently using went through trial and error with Kim. Basically. Yeah, I'd cook something, I'd say, "Here, try this," and she's like, "Nope, that's not it." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll try again," and you just keep going over and over and over again. So she's my biggest critic, but in a very good way. She's not afraid to tell me the truth. Sometimes people will try her food and they'll say, "Man, it's good," and she'll tell me if it's not good, and she'll tell me what she thinks it needs. And so between her and my son Toby, they both have really good barbecue palates, and they'll taste stuff and give me pointers. And a lot of the development of the recipes that we're currently using were done in-house. We did them at home. So
that is awesome. So what happened after the dust settled and it was just you two standing there? Were you guys like, holy crap?
What just
Yeah,
happened?
because usually, sometimes whenever I win, I'm hyped for the moment, but then it's usually the drive home. We're like, holy crap! I actually really did something today.
Yeah,
Because you're tired, you're exhausted, you're dirty, sauce dripping off your shoes. It takes a minute to process all that.
Yeah, it was wild. We stood in the parking lot for at least a half hour, just standing around going, wow, that really happened.
Kind of scratching our heads thinking, what just happened?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we stayed under the tent for at least 45 minutes, and people were coming and congratulating us and all that, and took a bunch of pictures. And
I think being a local team, we had some things working against us too. Like I said, we went home between awards and turn-ins, but also John had a work event that night, like that we were rushing to get to. Like I was texting his boss for him, like, hey, we just won and we're gonna be there late. So
so that night was F1, if you guys remember, and
the big F1 race. So
yeah, and I'm a sales application engineer, and I host a lot of hospitality events for work, and we were hosting an F1 event, and I was in charge of bringing a lot of stuff for it. And I was thinking, I can skip out awards. I'll go to this event, whatever. And then I kind of had a feeling maybe we should go. And we did. And then she's having to text my boss and tell him, hey, we're going to be late. And we won. And they all know that we do this competition barbecue thing. And so they were super excited for us and they were able to figure it out. But man, we standing in the parking lot, we knew we had to get to this next event. But at the same time, we were just coming down from that high. And, it was cool though. It definitely, the biggest feeling I had was gratitude. I felt like, man, we've been doing this a long time, and to finally win one, I just felt grateful to have been selected today. A lot of this is skill, but also a lot of it is luck. It's getting on the right tables and getting the right judges, and we just felt really lucky and grateful that it worked out in our favor that night. So,
well, I'm sure everybody back at the F1 event wanted you to bring all the leftovers.
Yeah, we brought in the sign. So this sign we have, we got as the trophy. We brought it into the event, and we had it hung up in front of the event as we were watching the race. But cool. They actually had me get up and talk about what happened at the competition and all that. So it was cool.
It was like
I was gonna say, so you got to savor it on the drive over there, and then work mode kicked in. But then you got to relive it a little bit immediately after as well too.
Yeah, it was cool. It was
because there's something about talking about it to other people right after it happens. It's just different from the story that you're telling us to probably what they received. You were on a whole nother. You're on cloud 9 talking about it. You were just like probably super pumped about it.
Oh man, my knees were shaking, the adrenaline was flowing. Yeah. I mean, my hands were. I was like, buzzing for the rest of the night, even into the weekend. I think we were still buzzing. We had family coming over that that Sunday, and it didn't come down for quite some time. It was probably a few weeks before it was like, okay, that really happened.
Right. And then you probably come home from work and look at that sign like, dang, that was awesome.
Yeah.
How do I do it again? How do I do it again?
Walk in the door. It's right in our front room. So I know that every time I come in the front door.
Right. Well, now you got a 50-50 shot at a bung for the Jack too. So
right.
I mean, that's good odds.
It is. And I actually got to go to the Jack last year with Steve-O. He qualified and I helped him cook it. So I'm excited to get back there and cook it under our own team name. Hopefully I can bring a hammer like Steve-O to help me, but we'll see if that works out.
Right. And then so now you have the confidence. Are you going to chase that Barbecue World Cup competitions? Are you going to try to?
Yeah. I mean, it's in Vegas, so we seem to do well in Vegas. We want to try and do well again. And we've been chasing any of the ones that we can. I saw that Osage City is all booked up now, but there's another one, a couple other ones that have come out. And I think, whatever ones that fit into our schedule, we're going to try and go to and try and qualify. And we'd love to be a part of it, obviously since it's here in our hometown. But also, that's a huge prize, and that's a game changer for most anybody, really.
It's life-changing. Exactly.
Yeah. See, that's the bad thing. If I won and won it, I'd just be like, you know what? We're already doing good. Let's roll the dice. Let's put it all in black.
Yeah.
Let's double up.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, not really, but I definitely put a nice fat coin on it just because I'm a gambling type of guy.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, we're gonna do more competitions this year than we have in the past. As of this week, I think we're 7th in the KCBS Master Series, but we were 4th last week, and that changes every week. But I've never been that high on that, on that list, so it was kind of cool to see that, and kind of inspired us to cook some more events and see if we can keep up in the points chase for KCBS.
Well, the fact that you've only done 16 comps, there's teams that are doing double that in a year.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. And I mean, I think we'll double that probably this year. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But
yeah, that definitely is a game changer. Hopefully Jesse can get one in there. Like he said at the start of the show, it'd be nice for somebody to be represented from every state.
From every state, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they look at that, and we're trying to get the first comp in Utah will be May 1st and 2nd. We're trying to been talking to Scott, trying to get that as a qualifier as well. So,
and then
we got 39 powered spots for teams, so which is nice.
Yeah. Are you guys going to shoot for that one to be a Barbecue World Cup qualifier too, or?
I'm trying. It's going to be a KCBS qualifier. It'll be a first year event. It was a Utah BBQ Association comp last year, and we had over 20 teams last year. So I think we're at 12 or 13 right now, and then we'll be a qualifier pretty easily.
Yeah, be awesome. It's 38 powered for trailers. Do those
39?
Have 39? We just plug in and go. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah. Where's it going to be at?
It's in Ogden, Utah.
Ogden. Okay.
So about a six hour drive for y'all.
Yeah, not too bad.
You got to add an hour or two with the trailer. Can't be below 80 down.
Yeah, we got a bumper pole, so we tend to. It's like a ship going down the road.
Right. Exactly. Well, is there anything else you guys want to say, or are you guys moving into teaching classes, or do you have a YouTube channel? Anything like that?
I just started messing around with the YouTube channel. We have the Instagram, we have Facebook. We're working on putting together rubs. I've had 3 rubs that have been in the works with a co-packer for about 9 months now, and we're kind of getting to that point where we probably need to pull the trigger on those. We've got basically a beef rub, a chicken rub, and a pork rub or an all-purpose rub, and they'll probably be coming out in the next 4 or 5 months or so. You can look for that on the Instagram or Facebook. We'll have postings about that in the progress. And anything else?
We're just excited about competing in the barbecue world, getting out there and seeing more of it. Because we've had life extenuating circumstances that have slowed our roll a little bit. And we're excited to really just get at it and be thankful.
Yep, for sure.
Any sponsors you want to shout out to?
Premier Barbecue and Fire here locally has been the only one who's really ever helped us out with anything. And I guess, there's been other folks who have given us things here and there. Chicken Fried Barbecue, Bill Purvis has given us some rubs here and there. We just got back from their class, Bill and Fred's class in Texas. And Fred Robles has always been helpful with Rio Valley Meats. He's always been hooking me up with stuff and
great people.
And giving us advice and all that. So really, and Steve-O's Barbecue locally, he's been a good mentor of mine too. And as far as that goes, we're looking for sponsors. If anybody is looking to sponsor us, we apply for sponsorships here and there. But honestly, we haven't been competing enough, I don't think, to really entice someone to want to partner up with us. But that's going to change here pretty soon, and we'd love and would welcome the opportunity for more sponsorships for sure.
Heck yeah.
That is awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you taking time out of your evening to talk with us and talk barbecue. And hopefully we'll be able to catch up with you and experience what happened at the Jack.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you pull that bone,
share that with you too.
Exactly. Well, cool. Well, thank you again for joining us. Jesse, thanks for joining me every week. It's awesome. And I hope everybody has a good evening.
Thank you. You too.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.